Hello, welcome to our hymn histories. The Dead Sea Scrolls were until recently our oldest copies of the biblical text, but in 1979 Villanova professor Judith Hadley was assisting archaeologist Gabriel Barkay in excavating a site in Jerusalem's Hinnom Valley. In a burial cave, she saw something resembling the metal cap of a pencil. It was a sensational find, a tiny silver scroll of great antiquity. Another was found nearby. These tiny amulets, dating to the Hebrew monarchy, 7 centuries before Christ, were so small and fragile they took several years to painstakingly clean and open. When scientists finally unrolled them, they found the world's oldest extant copy of the biblical text, the words of Numbers 6:24 through 26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. The priestly blessing amulets is one of the most exciting finds in modern-day archaeology. Not only does it validate the Bible, but it gives us an intricate look into the life and times of ancient Jerusalem. These 2 amulets are on display in the archaeology wing of the Israel Museum. While the amulets date from the 7th century BC, the original words are far older, coming 1400 years before Christ. As the Israelites wandered in the wilderness, the Lord commanded the priests to bless the people with this threefold blessing. These ancient lyrics have been set to music many times, but never more beautifully than by Peter Christian Lütken in his classic tune Benediction. During the Fanny Crosby, Ira Sankey era of gospel music, when so much was written for easy congregational singing, Lütken wrote more elaborate melodies with a classical flair. Lütken was born in Wisconsin in 1888 and devoted his life to church music, studying the masters in Europe, excelling on the organ, and founding the School of Music at Northwestern Illinois. He helped start the American Guild of Organists. He died in 1931 and was buried in Rose Hill Cemetery in Chicago. In his notes from my Bible, D.L. Moody said about the priestly blessing of number 6, "Here is a benediction that can give all the time without being impoverished. Every heart may utter it. Every letter may conclude with it. Every day may begin with it. Every night may be sanctified by it. Here is blessing, keeping, shining, the uplifting upon the poor life of all heaven's glad morning. It is the Lord himself who gives us this bar of music from heaven's infinite anthem." Once again, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Here's how the song looked, and here's how it was sung.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace, and give you peace. The Lord make his face to shine upon you. And be gracious unto you. And be gracious. The Lord be gracious. Gracious unto you.
This song is our next song, When I Fear My Faith May Fail. This hymn of devotion has its roots in 3 continents. The story begins with American evangelist R.A. Torrey and his music director Charles Alexander, who were touring Australia in 1902 when they met a young pianist, Robert Harkness. Here's his story about it. Dr. Torrey and Mr. Alexander came to my hometown of Bendigo in June. Prior to their coming, a committee of the mission came to me and asked if I would help in the meetings by playing the piano part of the time. I was not interested in evangelistic meetings. Indeed, I was rather opposed to them. But the thought struck me. that perhaps my good father and mother would be pleased if I took part in these meetings, and I consented. I hadn't been in the first meeting 10 minutes before I found it was going to be decidedly warm, much warmer than I expected. Mr. Alexander announced hymn number 7, and I was soon playing a 2-line hymn with an old Southern melody. I was not deeply interested and played it in an offhand way. In playing through the Glory song, when I came to the chorus, I closed the book. I had memorized it quickly and improvised an accompaniment to the chorus to try to displease Mr. Alexander. But instead of displeasing him, he turned around and looked at me and said, "Keep it up, keep it up. That is what we want." So I kept on. The next time we had the chorus, I played a full octave accompaniment, thinking he would surely be upset. But he was not there to be upset. At the close of the meeting, Dr. Torrey asked me if I was a Christian. I straightened up and said, "No, I'm here to play the piano." Dr. Torrey left me and went away to pray for me, I think. After that experience, Alexander challenged Harkness to accept Christ, and moved by Alexander's genuine concern for his spiritual welfare, he accepted. In addition, Alexander was so impressed by Harkness' ability that he employed the young man in his traveling music team, forming a partnership that lasted several years. In 1906, during the mission in Philadelphia, I remember Dr. Torrey preaching to about 4,000 people in the armory. During his sermon, I took out some slips of paper in which some words Miss Habershon had sent over in response for requests about some verses about the keeping power of Christ. I read over the lines of "He Will Hold Me Fast." The melody came to me, and I worked it out there and then, writing the music for the verse and then the chorus. During our mission in Philadelphia spring of 1908, Dr. Charles W. Gordon called me across the waiting room of the hotel where we were staying and introduced me to a fine-looking young man and told me his story. His face was shining as he told us how he'd been in our meeting a few days before and had been converted. When I questioned him, I found that he had been in darkness, and he felt he was too weak to live a Christian life. He was in the meeting when I was leading the people in the song, "He Will Hold Me Fast," and he said that was the very message he needed. The thought that Christ could hold him fast, and that he need not depend upon his own willpower or his own strength, was the means of his decision for Christ. In spite of the initial success of the song, it fell out of use after the mid-20th century. In recent years, it has enjoyed a resurgence through a new tune setting by Matt Merker of Capitol Hill Baptist Church in Washington, D.C. According to Merker, a member of his congregation had given him a copy of the original gospel song, but he initially set it aside. I forgot about the song for a while, but later pulled it out again when I was walking through a difficult personal season of doubt and uncertainty. I was wrestling with the hard question of the faith and struggling to place my trust in the enduring power of God's preserving grace. Jude 20 through 25 was a lifeline for me, and Jude 24 became an anchor for my soul in that trying time. Now to him who is able to keep you from stumbling and present you blameless before the presence of his glory with great joy. I pulled out, "He Will Hold Me Fast," again, and the words ministered to me deeply. I wanted to see the resurrection and return of Christ featured in the lyrics, since our hope is guaranteed by the reality that Christ has risen and is coming again. I first shared the song with my wife and then with our pastor, and he suggested we should try singing it as a congregation. We introduced the song in 2013, and the church quickly owned the song and began singing it with joy and really loud voices. Let's sing it together. Here's the edition we've sung in our church, and you go ahead and sing. I'll play it, and it'll start going here. It's a wonderful song. "He Will Hold Me Fast." It starts out with a little line of "Be Still My Soul." You sing along at home. Here's the time to sing. verse 2.